Welcome to Floppy Deep Dive. I'm Tom from Texas, and this month we're celebrating a special milestone, Floppy Deep Dive's 3rd anniversary. A massive shout out to all my loyal subscribers on this incredible journey with me, and a warm welcome to all the newcomers joining on our vibrant community.
Wow, 3 years. Congratulations. Happy anniversary, Floppy Deep Dive.
And today we're going to be embarking in a nostalgic odyssey back to the golden era of gaming, where the Commodore 64, a legendary console that defined and revolutionized our gaming experiences in the 1980s. And for those who might be new to this, the Commodore 64 wasn't just a computer. It was a gateway to countless adventures and a pivotal part of our childhood wonder. And as a dedicated enthusiast, I've been on a quest to gather original floppies and cartridges for this legendary system. Back in the day, owning originals was a distant dream for me, so now it's a fulfilling quest to gather these treasures. And in this special episode, we're going to explore the crown jewels of my collection, the top 10 most prized Commodore 64 games according to the most recent data from price charting. But remember, it's not just the eye-catching price tags that make these games unique. Their timelessness stories and the flood of fond childhood memories make them invaluable. So without further ado, let's deep dive into the heart of retro gaming. Let's dive in.
Number 10.
Kicking off our top 10 countdown at number 10 is the thrilling Wizard of War. See the poster overhead? Currently valued at a cool $95 for a complete inbox edition. This game isn't just a collector's gem, it's a piece of gaming history. Picture this, Christmas 1984, the excitement of unwrapping my first ever Commodore 64 cartridge. And what cartridge was it? Wizard of War. It wasn't just any game, it was an adrenaline-pumping dungeon crawler bringing the arcade into our living rooms. Here's a fascinating tidbit. Did you know Wizard of War was one of the earliest games to feature voice synthesis? That's right, this game talked to you, adding an extra layer of immersion to its already intense gameplay. And remember, the iconic music and sound effects that still resonate with us retro gamers. But its multiplayer mode truly set Wizard of War apart. It was a game where friendships were tested, as you could either team up or go head-to-head in battle against the game's notorious Warlings and Gore Wars and Thor Wars, and even the elusive Wizard himself. The procedurally generated mazes meant that there were no two games that were the same, keeping us on the edge of our seats every time we played. So whether you were a lone warrior or navigating the treacherous mazes or teaming up with a friend for some cooperative action, Wizard of War delivered an unforgettable gaming experience. It's a title that truly deserves its spot in any Commodore 64 enthusiast collection. Let's move on to the next one.
Number 9.
Sliding into number 9 on our list is the ever-charming Frogger II Threeedeep. With its current value of $99.50 for a complete set, this gem found its way into my collection as part of a treasure trove of old Commodore software I stumbled upon about a year ago. And for those who missed it, it was a whole video on a haul in my Retro Deep Dive series, definitely worth checking out. Now let's hop into the world of Frogger 2. As a massive fan of the original Frogger, discovering its sequel was like striking gold. But here's what makes Frogger 2 stand out on the Commodore 64. It wasn't just a simple rehash of the original. The sequel took the leapfrogging action to new heights, quite literally. In Frogger 2, you're not just crossing roads and rivers, you're diving underwater and soaring through the sky and navigating 3 distinct environments. This added a whole new dimension to gameplay, making it a refreshing and challenging experience. And here's a cool fact. Frogger 2 was one of those games that showcased the Commodore 64's capabilities to handle detailed graphics and smooth animations. The colorful sprites and lively backgrounds were a visual treat, bringing each game's level to life. So whether you were dodging dangerous creatures underwater, leaping over lily pads, or hopping across clouds, Frogger 2 delivered an exhilarating and varied game experience. It's a classic that tests our reflexes and our ability to adapt to new and exciting challenges. A true testament to the versatility and enduring charm of the good old Commodore 64.
Number 8.
Moving on to number 8 in our countdown, we have Aigina's Prophecy, currently valued at $113.76. Now, this title was also new to me and diving into its world has been an intriguing journey. This game is a hidden gem to the Commodore 64 library, testament to the system's versatility in handling the different game genres. And Aigina's Prophecy is an action-adventure game, a genre not overly common in the Commodore 64, set in a mythical world that combines exploration, puzzle-solving, and combat elements, offering a rich and immersive experience. One of the most striking aspects of Aigina's Prophecy is its graphics. For a Commodore 64 game, it boasts detailed sprites and environments that bring its mythical settings to life. The game's visuals are a fine example of what the Commodore 64 could achieve, pushing the boundaries of 8-bit graphics. But it's not just the visuals that make this game special. The gameplay in Aigina's Prophecy is challenging yet rewarding, with the puzzles that require strategy and quick thinking. It's a game that tests your wits as much as your reflexes. Interestingly, Aigina's Prophecy was less widely known or distributed than some other titles on the Commodore 64, making it a rare find for collectors. It blends the mythological adventure and puzzle elements, making it a unique and valuable addition to any Commodore 64 collection. So for those of you who, like me, are discovering Aigina's Prophecy for the first time, you're in for a treat. It's a game that challenges you, takes you back to the golden era of 8-bit gaming, where imagination and innovation knew no bounds. What's interesting on here, it says 500,000 were sold in Japan. So if you want this game, go to Japan.
Number 7.
Sliding into number 7 on our list is Wasteland, currently valued at $115.57 for a complete set. This game isn't just a piece of nostalgia, it's a cornerstone in the history of role-playing games. I vividly remember the first time I played Wasteland on my Commodore 64. It was a revelation. The game's open-world design and the depths of its narrative were unlike anything I had experienced before. It was a kind of game that you could sink months into, and I did just that. Its revolutionary approach to storytelling and player choice set Wasteland apart on this Commodore 64. The game was one of the first to introduce a persistent world where your actions had lasting consequences. It broke away from the linear gameplay typical of the era, offering a groundbreaking level of freedom. The game's post-apocalyptic world setting was brought to life with its detailed graphics and a compelling storyline. It was a bold move for Commodore 64 game, pushing the limits to what was thought possible on the 8-bit system. But here's a fascinating fact. Wasteland was so advanced for its time that the Commodore 64 version came with a printed book of paragraphs, and these paragraphs expanded the game's story and were a clever workaround for the system's memory's limitation. Adding Wasteland to my collection, especially after years of playing cracked version, feels like a coming full circle. It's a testament to the enduring appeal of this classic. For those who haven't experienced it, Wasteland is more than a game. It's a journey into the roots of modern RPGs, all on the humble Commodore 64.
Number 6.
At number 6, it's Disney's DuckTales The Quest for Gold, a gem in the Commodore 64 world, valued at $125 for a complete set. This game's a special part of my collection, one I acquired during my dive back into retro gaming in 2020. Now, DuckTales is a title that might surprise many for its high value. It's not just a game, it's a piece of Disney's golden era in the gaming. The game captures the charm and adventure of the beloved TV series, bringing Scrooge McDuck and his nephews to life in a way only the Commodore 64 could. And what is remarkable about this game is its variety. It wasn't just simple platformer, it was a combined different gameplay styles, from exploring the Amazon to piloting and playing. This variety was a bold move and showcased the versatility of the Commodore 64 as a gaming platform. But here's what I love the most. The artwork, the box art, and the game's graphics are quintessential 80s Disney, full of color and character. To preserve this, I housed it in this game in this cool, clear shield box protector that safeguards this treasure and displays this nostalgic beauty. DuckTales The Quest for Gold is more than a high-priced collectible. It's a window into time when Disney games were as magical as their movies, and the Commodore 64 was our gateway to these adventures.
Number 5.
We are halfway through, and number 5 is Montezuma's Revenge, a game that's not just a blast from the past, but a true collector's item, currently valued at $143.99 for this floppy disk alone. And what I need the box of manual. A fascinating fact about this version is the Commodore 64 disc has a dual personality. On one side is the Commodore 64, and you flip it over, and it's the Atari version, having two games in one, a rarity in the gaming world. And for those that have seen my Many Faces video, you know I showcase this game across various systems. Montezuma's Revenge is a testament to the versatility and adaptability of games in the 80s. It's about the gameplay and how these games travel across platforms. The Commodore 64 version stands out for its vibrant graphics and smooth gameplay, which were quite advanced for its time. It's a platformer that challenged us with puzzles, traps, and treasures, and its very essence of adventure gaming in the 1980s. And while I might not have a complete set, the disc is a treasure representing a unique gaming history where two worlds, Commodore 64 and Atari, converge in one physical medium. It's a reminder of how games were not just about entertainment, but also about innovation and creativity. If you're enjoying this dive into retro gaming treasures, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more. It really helps the channel and keeps you updated with all things retro gaming.
Number 4.
Coming in at number 4 on our list is Fire King, a game that's fiery as its name, currently valued at a scorching $192.75. This game was a surprise find in a collection of originals I acquired this year, and it's a title I never encountered in my childhood. Fire King is an action-adventure game released in 1989, developed by Microforte and published by Electronic Arts. It's a sequel to the game Demon Stalkers and carries forward the dungeon crawler style with a blend of action and puzzle-solving elements. What sets Fire King apart from the Commodore 64 is its advanced use of tile-based graphics, which was quite a technical achievement at the time. The game features a vast world to explore filled with dungeons and towns and various environments, each rendered with impressive details for the era. The gameplay combines real-time combat. Exploration requires strategic thinking and quick reflexes. Players navigate the game's world battling enemies, solving puzzles, and uncovering secrets. It's a game that challenges both your mind and your gaming skills. Interestingly, Fire King was one of the few games of its time to offer a save game feature, allowing players to save their progress, a luxury in the era of Commodore 64. And for those of us who missed out on Fire King during their childhood, discovering it now is like unearthing a hidden treasure from a golden age of gaming. It's a reminder of the depth and diversity of the Commodore 64's gaming library, showcasing the system's capabilities to host complex and engaging titles.
Number 3.
Sliding into number 3 on our countdown is Space Taxi, valued at a stellar $246.08 just for the floppy and manual. I'm still in the hunt for the box, but I'm lucky enough to have not just one, but 2 copies of this rare gem. These copies came part of different collections, one which was included in my first Commodore 128. Space Taxi was released in 1984 by Muse Software, is an iconic game for the Commodore 64, known for its innovative gameplay and voice synthesis. It's a game that truly showcased the capabilities of the Commodore 64, combining arcade action with skillful navigation. In Space Taxi, you pilot a taxi in various futuristic settings, picking up and dropping off passengers. That makes it special. These games use digitized voice samples, a groundbreaking feature at the time. Passengers shout out at their destination, adding lively and immersive element to the gameplay. The game features 24 screens, each with unique challenges and obstacles. From navigating narrow passages to avoiding dangerous traps, Space Taxi tests your piloting skills. I have a personal connection with this game, having battled my high scores from the 80s in a recent video. It's a nostalgic journey, revisiting those childhood gaming sessions and seeing if I still had the skills to beat my old record. If you haven't already checked it out, check that video out to see how I fared. Space Taxi is more than just a game. It's a piece of Commodore 64 history, a testament to the creativity and innovation of the era. It's a game that brings back memories and creates new ones, a timeless classic that continues to challenge and entertain.
Number 2.
Coming in hot, number 2 on our retro gaming countdown is the legendary Bruce Lee for the Commodore 64, valued at an impressive $399. This isn't just any game in my collection. It's one of my all-time favorites. I have a complete set including 3 floppies and a 1 cassette. The box may show its age, but it's safely encased in this clear protector preserving gaming history. Bruce Lee was released in 1984 as a pioneering action-adventure game that set a high standard for the genre. It's a game that perfectly captured the spirit of its namesake, the legendary martial artist Bruce Lee. Players navigate through a series of rooms battling enemies and solving puzzles, embodying the agility and skill of Bruce Lee himself. What's fascinating about the floppy in my collection is that one of them is also dual formatted, featuring the Commodore 64 version on one side and the Atari version on the other. It's a unique piece showcasing software distribution versatility in the 80s. I also celebrate this game by creating a Many Faces video showcasing all the systems Bruce Lee graced with its presence. It's a journey through the game's history across different platforms, so be sure to check it out. Additionally, the box art of Bruce Lee is so iconic that I turned it into a large poster adorning the walls of my retro gaming room. Bruce Lee for the Commodore 64 is more than just a game. It's a symbol of the era's innovation in gaming. It's a title that brings back waves of nostalgia and remains prized in any retro gaming collection.
Number 1.
Taking the top spot in my collection is the incomparable Maniac Mansion, valued at a whopping $516. This isn't just a game, it's a cornerstone of adventure gaming, and it holds a special place in my heart and my game room, where I proudly display a poster and its iconic box cover. Released in 1987, Maniac Mansion was a trailblazer for the point-and-click adventure genre and introduced gamers to the Scum engine, a revolutionary system that would become the backbone of many classic adventure games. The game's non-linear gameplay, multiple character choices, and multiple endings were groundbreaking. My journey with Maniac Mansion is as unique as the game. I acquired this gem for just $5 from a seller who unearthed it in his attic. My copy is even more special because it has the rare Lust edition, the original printing on the box, a version later altered due to its controversial content. I also delved deep into the game's legacy with the Many Faces video, exploring Maniac Mansion's presence across various platforms. It's a fascinating journey through the game's history and impact on gaming. Maniac Mansion is more than just a game. It's a piece of gaming history. It's a testament to the creativity and innovation of the 80s gaming scene and continues to inspire adventure gamers and developers alike. And there you have it, a journey through the crown jewels of my Commodore 64 collection. Each game holds a special place in my heart and gaming history, but now I'm turning the spotlight over to y'all. First off, were there any surprises on this list for you? A game you didn't expect to see, or one that sparked a trip down memory lane? If so, which ones? I'm eager to hear about it, so drop it down in the comments. Also, let's take this sharing a step further. What are the crown jewels of your collection? Whether it's a Commodore 64 classic or treasures from another console, I want to know about the top pieces in your retro gaming trove. Share your possessions in the comments and let's celebrate our collective nostalgia. And before you dive into the comments, remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Your support means a lot and helps keep this retro journey going strong. It doesn't stop there though. Go and watch the other videos I mentioned in this, the Many Faces and the Many Faces of Bruce Lee. And remember, the retro gaming journey is an ongoing adventure. There's always more to explore. So stay tuned for more dives into the rich history of gaming and keep those controllers ready. Let's keep reliving the golden days of gaming together. And until next time, happy gaming. Boom.